Hello everyone, it's Old Guardian here. Raid's Assassin's Creed collaboration is about halfway through and the third event for a guaranteed Assassin's Creed champion is about to start with a deck of fate for Basim ibn Ishaq. And in this video I'm going to take a look at how to complete this deck of fate and should you go for Basim. If you're not yet playing Raid Shadow Legends, now is a great time to start during the Assassin's Creed collaboration, and with my link you can start Raid with 3 legendary champions down below in the description there in the QR code. Use my link and you will get Tholin Foulbeard after the tutorial, a great champion who's going to get you through the campaign. Tuhanarak with the Desert Queen code, avoid legendary great support, and during the Assassin's Creed collaboration as a login bonus Ezio Auditore, followed by 3 wonderful epic champions, Rector Drath, Venomage and Uugo. But to get Basim, you have to already have played Raid for some time or be willing to spend quite a bit of money if you're just starting right now. Because Basim is going to be the reward for Master Deck of Fate that starts on Monday, February 16th. Guaranteed event, there's going to be 40 cards. You need 1000 points to flip a card. No pinning, just flipping cards this time. So you need 40,000 points overall to flip all the cards. And you will need to flip 21 cards that each have Basim fragments in them in order to summon Basim. So that's quite a lot of cards, and math will show that getting 21 specific cards out of a 40 card deck is actually not very easy at all. Points to flip those cards come from summoning souls from Soulstones and from getting artifacts and accessories, so a Gear Hunter's component. You can freely combine these 2 point sources. When I'm making this video, the point values have not yet been released, but the point values have remained the same during the previous events where there has been a champion deck. There was champion deck for Hilvi, a champion deck for Raphael, and the point values were the same. So we can quite reliably deduce that the point values will be in this area again. And another thing that has remained the same is that you will need 21 cards, specific cards to get Basim, the same as you needed for Raphael, the same as you needed for Hilvi. And how many cards do you think you're going to need to flip in a 40 card deck to get 21 specific cards out of it? And the answer is pretty much all of them. There's no foul play in play here at all. It's just basic logic, basic hypergeometric probabilities when you're dealing with decks. So cumulative probability to get Basim by the time you have flipped 35 of the 40 cards is only 1.77%. And then the odds start to pick up at 38 cards, it's already over 21, and then 39, it's 47.5, and well, 40 cards of course is 100%, but more than half of players will need to flip every single card before they get all the Basim fragments. So if you want to do this, be ready to do the full deck. So how many souls is it going to take to do the full deck? The last decks that have had champions, Mortal Soulstones gave you 70 points, Immortals gave you 700, and Eternals gave you 3500. There's been some variance in past events overall. Sometimes it has been just 60, and sometimes it's been up to 90 from a Mortal Soulstone, and the others changed accordingly. But this is roughly the neighborhood that you can expect. So 572 Mortal Soulstones, or 57 Immortals, or 11 and some change in Eternals. Any combination of them, also combined with points from the dungeons. And note also that you can buy more Soulstones if you sell the souls that you open. So this gives it a fair bit of variance, because sometimes you get like a 6-star mythical soul, and if you were to sell that, then that would get you a lot of points again. So big souls may finance the entire event, but in general you need quite a bit of Soulstones to do this with Soulstones. But you can also spend energy in dungeons, Gear Hunter's component, and for this one, great help is that the Event Dungeon is currently active, because in Event Dungeon, Stage 3 is wonderful for Gear Hunters. It's not great for any other tournament, but it's great for Gear Hunters and for Gear Hunters component in this. So Event Dungeon Stage 3 gives you around 26% more points than doing something like Dragon Stage 20. Yeah, that's a pretty huge difference, because Event Dungeon Stage 3 around 32,000 energy. Dragon Stage 20 around 42,000 energy. So as you can see, there's quite a big difference. Obviously from Stage 3 you're not going to get any useful gear, but sometimes the difference in energy spent is just worth it. So those were the technical details of how you can get Basim. You need to flip almost all the cards, you need some Soulstones, you need to do a bunch of dungeons. Should you go for Basim? Well, it is a guaranteed champion from a Deck of Fate event. Guaranteed champions are always nice. And the Assassin's Creed champions are only available for a limited time. All of these IP collaborations, you can get the champions only for a limited time. Once you have them, you can play with them forever. You can upgrade them once you already own them, but you can never acquire them again. So if you don't get Basim, you're never going to get Basim. Basim is the third guaranteed champion of this collab. Ezio is the current login chase champion, still available. Just log into the game and you will get it after 7 days. And there was a fusion event for Cassandra. That's already over. There are still 2 more champions in the collab. There's Edward and there's Bayek. Both have been possible to get from shards, so as has Basim, but the odds are not really good. Bayek is the real prize. Bayek was available from Void Shards. There was a Summon Boost event for Bayek. I opened 90 Void Shards myself trying to pick it up, but of course 90 Void Shards was nothing for that and I did not get Bayek. We don't know if Bayek will be a guaranteed prize, but Bayek is the best one out of these champions in this collaboration. There should still be a Hero's Path left at some point that could use Soulstones. It could use Shards, we don't know yet. It could also be like a tournament number 1 prize or similar, so we just don't know how to get Bayek yet. But overall, the synergies between the Assassin's Creed champions are quite weak. They're nothing like the Teenage Mutant Ninja Turtles that we had last year, who were like super synergistic, so you really wanted to get the full team of turtles and then they just do stuff. Assassins don't. So you're more like evaluating each assassin separately. Okay, is this something that I want for my account? And what about Basim specifically? Basim is a fine damage dealer, especially for Arena. More so for Arena than for PvE. It's not really mandatory. If he's the kind of damage dealer that you want for your Arena team, yeah, then maybe. But overall, Basim is weaker than the last 2 champions that we had from Decks of Fate, which were Hilvi and Raphael, who were both stronger than Basim. So Personally, I'm going to skip Basim. I'm still keeping an eye on whether there's going to be a Bayek event, because that would be something really interesting. But for Basim, Deck of Fate, somewhat expensive. Obviously, if you happen to have extra souls around, if you happen to have extra energy that you don't need and you want this, it is time limited after all. You won't be able to get it afterwards. If you really happen to like Basim for whatever reason from the games, Assassin's Creed games, then those might be reasons to pick it up. But there's no really compulsive reason for all players to go for this one, so personally I'm going to skip this one. Thank you for watching. Click like and subscribe if you enjoyed this, and a special thanks to all of my Patreon supporters, YouTube members and Twitch subscribers who make all of these videos possible.